The wise Buddha once said that your mind is really important. He said that whatever you think, you eventually become. These words are timeless and carry a lot of wisdom. Today, we're going on a journey inspired by Buddha's teachings. We'll look at 10 habits that you should quietly remove from your life. As we go through each habit, we'll use Buddha's wisdom to understand how we can find inner peace and enlightenment. Now, on to our video. Habit number 1. Explaining yourself to those who cause you pain. Sometimes when people hurt us, we feel like we need to explain ourselves to them. It's a common thing to do, but Buddha's wisdom reminds us that holding on to anger and trying to explain ourselves can harm us more than anyone else. He said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." This quote teaches us that when we try to explain ourselves to those who hurt us, it can burden us with emotional pain. So it's important to let go of the need to explain ourselves to them. It doesn't mean we should hide our feelings or avoid healthy communication in relationships. Instead, we should understand that some people may not be open to our explanations or may not want to change how they see things. In such cases, it's better to focus on our own healing and growth. We should seek inner peace and understanding within ourselves, rather than relying on others to validate us. This lesson reminds us to prioritize our well-being and emotional health. We should remember that our peace of mind should not depend on the approval or understanding of others, especially those who have hurt us. Habit number 2. Oversharing the end of relationships. Lesson number 2 reminds us about the importance of not sharing too many details about the end of our relationships. Buddha wisely advised, "Speak only endearing speech, speech that is welcomed. Speech when it brings no evil to others is a pleasant thing." This means we should respect the privacy of our past relationships and avoid unnecessary gossip about them. When relationships come to an end, it can be a tough time for both people involved. Buddha's guidance reminds us to be careful and compassionate in what we say during these moments. Sharing intimate or sensitive details about why a relationship ended can often lead to more pain, not just for us, but also for the other person. Instead, we should think about the impact of our words on both ourselves and the other person. Is what we're about to say necessary and helpful, or does it just spread negativity and harm? By respecting the boundaries and privacy of our past relationships, we not only keep our own dignity, but also contribute to a more peaceful and compassionate environment in our personal and social circles. Remember, sometimes silence is the most respectful and eloquent response during such times. Habit number 3. Unnecessary goals. Buddha, the enlightened one, shared deep wisdom when he said, "The trouble is, you think you have time." This timeless teaching encourages us to think about the shortness of our lives and the preciousness of every moment we have. It reminds us that we often waste our most valuable resource, time, by chasing goals that, in the grand scheme of things, don't really matter. Imagine your life as a collection of moments, each one like a precious jewel in the tapestry of your existence. Now, think about how often we waste these priceless gems by pursuing goals that don't hold real significance. These unnecessary goals can take many forms, from materialistic pursuits driven by societal pressures to trivial objectives that don't align with our core values and purpose. Following Buddha's advice means embarking on a journey of self-reflection and prioritization. It asks us to look at our aspirations and figure out which ones truly connect with our inner selves, match our values, and contribute to our personal growth and the well-being of others. By letting go of goals that are unnecessary or don't align with our true path, we free ourselves from distraction and discontent. This teaching encourages us to focus our ambitions, putting our efforts into goals that nourish our souls and enrich our lives. It invites us to cherish each moment as an irreplaceable gift. By doing so, we unlock the potential to create a life that isn't just a series of pursuits, but a meaningful and purposeful journey. Let's heed this ancient wisdom, and with mindful intention, redirect our energies toward the goals that truly matter. This way we can make the most of our time and lead a life filled with significance and fulfillment. Habit number 4. raising your voice in anger. Imagine a moment when anger or frustration engulfs you, and you feel the urge to raise your voice to express your emotions. It's a common reaction, a way to assert your point or release pent-up tension. However, Buddha, with his timeless wisdom, offered a powerful analogy. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. This analogy vividly illustrates that anger not only harms the recipient, but inflicts even greater damage on the one who harbors it. When you raise your voice in front of others during moments of frustration or anger, it often leads to a cycle of negativity. Firstly, it can escalate the situation, making it more challenging to find a constructive resolution. Secondly, it damages your relationships with others, as yelling can be hurtful and create emotional distance. Lastly, and most importantly, it takes a toll on your own mental and emotional well-being. Holding on to anger can lead to stress, anxiety, and a lingering sense of inner turmoil. So what is the alternative? Buddha's guidance encourages us to practice patience and calmness. Instead of reacting impulsively to our emotions, we can take a step back and allow ourselves to cool down. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. Rather, it means acknowledging your emotions while choosing not to let them control your actions. By practicing patience, you can gain clarity and approach the situation with a composed and rational mind. This not only improves the chances of finding a mutually beneficial solution, but also preserves harmony in your relationships. Buddha's lesson on raising your voice during moments of anger reminds us that true strength lies in mastering our emotions, not letting them master us. By practicing patience and calmness, we not only avoid unnecessary suffering, but also pave the way for more harmonious and fulfilling interactions with others. So the next time you feel anger rising within you, remember the wisdom of Buddha and choose the path of patience and calmness to navigate through the challenges of life. Habit number 5, constantly comparing yourself to others. In this lesson, we explore the profound wisdom of Buddha, who cautioned us about the detrimental effects of constantly comparing ourselves to others. He astutely observed that comparison with others breeds jealousy and insecurity, highlighting how this habit can sow the seeds of negative emotions within us. When we engage in perpetual comparisons with others, we inadvertently set ourselves up for feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. We often fail to recognize our own unique qualities, talents, and strengths as our focus shifts to what we perceive as the achievements and successes of those around us. This continuous cycle of comparison can erode our self-esteem, leaving us feeling less valuable and less capable than we truly are. To heed Buddha's timeless advice, it's crucial to embrace our own uniqueness and stop measuring our worth or progress against that of others. Each individual's life journey is distinct, shaped by their personal experiences, circumstances, and choices. By recognizing and celebrating our unique qualities, strengths, and achievements, we can foster a sense of self-acceptance and contentment. Moreover, refraining from constant comparisons allows us to cultivate a healthier mindset and emotional well-being. Instead of fixating on others' achievements or possessions, we can direct our energy towards self-improvement, personal growth, and the pursuit of goals that genuinely resonate with our values and aspirations. The lesson from Buddha encourages us to appreciate our own path and recognize that it is uniquely ours. By letting go of the damaging habit of constant comparison, we open ourselves to a more profound sense of self-worth, inner peace, and the ability to live a more authentic and fulfilling life. Habit number 6, mindless use of social media. Buddha's wisdom reminds us of the profound influence our thoughts have on our lives when he said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." In the context of our modern world, this lesson is especially relevant when it comes to our use of social media. In today's digital age, it's all too easy to fall into the trap of mindless scrolling and superficial engagement on social media platforms. Many of us spend hours each day glued to our screens, consuming content that may not necessarily enrich our lives, or promote genuine connections. To truly embody this teaching, it's crucial to approach social media with mindfulness and intentionality. Instead of aimlessly scrolling through your feed, consider focusing on positive and meaningful connections. This means being conscious of the content you consume and share, as well as the interactions you engage in. Ask yourself whether the time spent on social media is contributing positively to your life, or if it's merely a source of distraction and comparison. Make an effort to connect with others authentically, engage in meaningful conversations, and share content that uplifts and inspires. By doing so, we free ourselves from the shackles of self-doubt and unrealistic expectations. We learn to appreciate the beauty in our flaws and the growth that arises from our mistakes. This shift in perspective allows us to focus on progress, not perfection. It empowers us to set meaningful goals, work diligently towards them, and relish the journey of self-improvement without the crushing burden of unattainable perfection looming over us. Lesson 9 teaches us that the path to personal growth and fulfillment lies not in the relentless pursuit of an unattainable ideal, but in the recognition and acceptance of our imperfections. It's an invitation to lead a life guided by the principle of continuous improvement, where each step forward, no matter how small, is a cause for celebration. In embracing our imperfections, we find the true essence of our humanity and discover a profound sense of contentment and self-compassion along the way. Habit number 9, holding on to unrealistic expectations. The essence of this lesson can be encapsulated in the words of Buddha himself when he said, "The root of suffering is attachment." To truly understand this, let's delve deeper. Unrealistic expectations often stem from a form of attachment, a fixation on how things should be rather than embracing how they are. This attachment can lead us down a path of discontentment and unhappiness, as we constantly chase after ideals that may be unattainable or simply not in alignment with the ever-changing nature of reality. Imagine you set impossibly high standards for yourself, your relationships, or your achievements. You become emotionally attached to these ideals, believing that they are the only path to contentment. However, when reality inevitably falls short of these expectations, suffering ensues. You may feel frustrated, disappointed, or even defeated. Buddha's wisdom advises us to release this attachment to unrealistic expectations, and in doing so, discover contentment in the present moment. This does not mean abandoning all goals and aspirations. Rather, it invites us to approach life with a sense of flexibility and acceptance. By letting go of rigid expectations, we open ourselves up to the beauty of the present moment. We learn to appreciate what we have, acknowledge our progress, and find contentment in the journey itself, rather than fixating solely on the destination. In this way, we free ourselves from the constant cycle of craving and dissatisfaction. Incorporating this teaching into our lives can lead to a profound transformation in how we experience the world. It invites us to cultivate mindfulness, a state of being fully present and aware, and to appreciate the richness of life as it unfolds. It encourages us to embrace the imperfections and uncertainties that make our journey unique and meaningful. So, as we navigate the complexities of existence, let us heed the wisdom of Buddha and release the shackles of unrealistic expectations. In doing so, we open ourselves up to a more authentic and fulfilling experience of life, one where contentment is found not in an imagined future, but in the beauty of the present moment. Habit number 10, the harmful effects of gossiping. Buddha's wisdom resonates in his timeless advice: do not speak unless it improves on silence. This profound guidance encourages us to reflect on the words we choose to utter and their impact on our relationships and surroundings. Gossip, often a source of idle chatter and negativity, is something we should consciously avoid. Instead, let us strive to cultivate a more mindful and compassionate way of communication. Gossiping, while seemingly harmless at times, can have far-reaching consequences. It is the act of discussing or spreading rumors about others, often without their knowledge or consent. This behavior can damage trust, breed misunderstandings, and sow seeds of discord among individuals. By engaging in gossip, we inadvertently contribute to a toxic environment where negativity and mistrust thrive. To truly follow Buddha's advice, we should take a moment to pause and consider whether our words are enhancing the silence or disrupting it. Instead of indulging in gossip, we can choose to channel our energy into conversations that uplift and inspire. Mindful communication involves listening actively, empathizing with others, and speaking with kindness and authenticity. By refraining from gossip and embracing a more mindful approach to communication, we can nurture healthier relationships, foster trust, and create a harmonious atmosphere where silence is no longer a void, but a canvas for positive and meaningful interactions. As we conclude our exploration of these 10 habits inspired by the teachings of Buddhism, it's crucial to remember that the pursuit of inner peace and happiness is a deeply individual and introspective journey. By consciously working to eliminate the detrimental habits we've discussed from your daily life, you can pave the way for a more enriching and harmonious existence.